What's up, guys? We're live here on YouTube. Let's make sure my audio is right. Alright, audio's good. Audio's good. So, before I start this here, I want everybody that's tuning in here. It's been a while since I've been live on YouTube, so give me just a second while I fix some stuff on my laptop. I've been really busy, so watch this and tell me how awesome this is. Oh, snap.
Over 3 years ago, we set out on a mission to create something truly innovative, something in a class of its own, a brand new concept. Exceeding 50 prototypes and countless hours of research and design, for 2020, we are proud to bring you the Axis. A patent-pending Axis features a revolutionary, one-of-a-kind free-swinging bill that allows the bait to perform completely different than anything on the market. As the bill pivots left to right, the body follows, causing a secondary action that most crankbaits cannot achieve. What truly sets this bait apart is its ability to change direction suddenly, by only using your reel handle. Simply change the retrieve speed, or pop your rod, and the Axis will hunt, dart, and swim erratically, never back to you in a straight line. Moving forward, through innovation, Sixth Sense will strive to continue to produce products that will make a difference with your time on the water. Coming 2020, the Axis series of crankbaits, and this is only the start.
Alright, so if you're just now tuning in, Sixth Sense Fishing did not go to iCast, and they just did their own thing, really, from there in Texas, and so that's what's coming in 2020. And the soft plastics that everybody's waiting on for this fall, they are live. They are on the Sixth Sense website right now, and I'm fixing to show them to you. I'm going to jump over here real quick, log on to my internet browser, and I'm going to share this broadcast over on Facebook, and I haven't even popped out the chat yet, so I can't see anything. Also got to turn my volume off. So I'm sure if anything was messed up and you guys were trying to let me know, I didn't get to see it because it didn't pop out my chat. So, but yeah, it's Saturday night, and we're here in the bait room. And I'm sorry I didn't give you guys a heads up. I actually had plans on going out with my family tonight, and that didn't work out. So I'll try to answer a few questions. So let me get this shared over to my Facebook page real quick, guys. And then I'm going to get into these Sixth Sense plastics because they're pretty sweet. Alright, we should be good there over on the Book of Face. There we go. Man, I have just been really busy, Richard. Unfortunately, I've been working a lot, and I'll be honest, my wife's grandpa, great guy. He's up in his 90s, and he's having some health issues, so she's been helping him out a lot, and I've had to help her take care of him and stuff like that. No, that's not Hog Farmer's Bait, that bass. That's actually a guy, a producer Swimbait. And so here's the deal on that Scottsboro Swimbait. And that's an open mold. Anyone can buy that mold. But the difference between Scottsboro Tackle and a lot of these people is 2 Tim at Scottsboro has all the CAD designs and everything, and he's got over 200 of just 6-inch molds. So a lot of these guys, they've only got like 10 molds, and they don't do this stuff for a living. Tim and Andrea, they make swim baits for a living, so that dude is always hustling. So I'm not knocking anything, but the producer is a very similar style, and you know, you can find that mold. So, you know, there's a lot of guys that make swim baits as a hobby. Tim and Scottsboro Tackle, they make them. That's their 100% job. And Andrea, she runs the tackle store there. So, thanks, Richard. Definitely appreciate it. Great dude. So I'm going to go answer a few questions. I'm going to get in this bag of goodies. And I'm going to talk about ICAST Tuesday, because I have got so much to talk about. It's probably going to piss some people off, and that's fine. But I've got a big plan for ICAST Tackle Tuesday. So I've got to get back in the swing of things. Work schedule and everything's really whipped me up. So I'm going to have to move Tackle Tuesday up to like 5:30 or something like that. So I've had a good weekend. Mike Lanning, thanks for asking. Christopher Trimble, I wonder if 6 Cents will ever make reels. I mean, they make everything else. Well, I'll be honest. I don't think you have to make reels if you're going to be a tackle company. Strike King doesn't make reels, and they're number one in my books. I think what happens to a lot of these companies, they try to make too many things too fast. And let's be honest, unless you're doing your own reels, nobody's going to go after the same doyo reel that Luz and Abu Garcia and Fitzgerald and all these people are making. They're basically the same reel and slapping their name on it. So unless you're going to do your own thing and completely make it 100% from the factory, I would stay away from it. They got some sweet rods, though. It's a lot easier to make your own rod than it is reel. Jared Adams says, S-Crake versus Axis. What are your thoughts? I haven't thrown the Axis yet. Casey's going to get me some samples pretty soon. Right now, I'm not going to throw a square bill at all because it's, it's just too warm. These fish are a little deep for that. But I got some places I can throw it. I agree, Big Red Bass. Props to those companies, go out of their way and be different. So I'm going to let you guys know, and you'll see it on Tackle Tuesday. We have, I don't know how to say this politically correct, because, it is a free market. I guess you can do what you want to. But the Guggen Squad has copied 6 Cents. Like, just straight up knocked them off. So they got their own hardbait line, Guggen hardbaits, and they just flat out ripped off the Flat 75. It happens. I don't have to like it, don't have to agree with it. But I think that's pretty crappy when you tout how much research and design and all this stuff you do, and their soft baits are pretty nice. I mean, I've defended them, and they're not bad at all, but if you're just going to go out there and slap Guggen Squad on stuff, and the paint jobs are freaking awful. But I'm going to save the rest of all my opinions about ICAST for Tackle Tuesday. And I'll be honest, to sum it up really short, I think with social media and all the live streaming tools these days, I think ICAST is a waste of money for about 90% of companies. Because really what it is, it's a derby jersey wearing dick swinging contest up there. And, that's my thoughts, short thoughts, but I'll go more in depth because there was some good, cool stuff that come out at ICAST, and I've got photos and stuff, and I wish I could have gone, but you know what? I'm glad I stayed home, saved my money, because other than the trolling motors, which I really don't care that much about, because they're insanely overpriced, there wasn't a lot of ICAST that just excited me. No, I don't have a jersey, bruh. I actually wish that ICAST was more strict. I don't think the public should go because it was never meant to be for public. It was meant to be for dealers, media, and wholesalers. And the companies, and it was a way for them all to get together, showcase a product, book orders for the fall and stuff like that. But now we've turned it into this big social event, and all these patch pirates with jerseys want to come in and try to get 10% off a pack of worms from every company's, and it's really kind of ruined it to me. But I'm going to save that for Tuesday. So anyway, I am going to go ahead and show y'all some of this new 6 cent stuff. Man, I really never saw a company use the term game changer. The only people using game changer were people on Facebook trying to make a joke about the word game changers, and it got really old really fast. But anyway, you're right, Flats Out. Exactly right. So, hey, we're going to jump into these soft plastics from 6 cents. I just got them in today. And we'll start with the swim baits here. This is the Divine swim bait. So they got two sizes here. Awesome, dude. Awesome, Jesse. That's a great color, man. I like fishing around Clarksville. I caught a really big one like 2 years ago down there in Lick Creek. So this is actually the 3.2 inch side. This is Pro Shad. So it's not really similar to a Kitech, I guess. It's kind of its own deal. Maybe a rounded Kitech flat tail, but this is a finesse swim bait size. This is the 3.2, and that color is Pro Shad. Great if you want to rig this thing up on a little ball head, small underspin. Really like that. You put this on the back of a finesse swim jig, and they're soft, but they're solid. They're not near as soft as a Kitech. These are going to be a lot more durable though. The closest thing this reminds me of really is a round Jackal Rhythm Wave. So awesome, James. Awesome. I do think that there needs to be a giant consumer showcase, though, with all the new products and stuff like that. And maybe that's my calling. Maybe I should organize a giant, gathering of the companies and the consumers, and maybe these companies can take pre-orders that are direct to consumer. That's just my idea. So I got that 3.2 and the Pro Shad, and then I got this other color. Shad Scream, which I've got the Shad Scream here in the 3.8. So let's check out the 3.8. This one looks really good. You Alabama rig guys will really like this. Sexified Shad in the 3.8. So that's going to be your swim jig trailer. If you want to put it on a ball head, fish it by itself, a rig. This right here would go really good on a chatterbait as well. What's up, Chris Morrow? I love that Rhythm Wave. That's a great, very underrated swim bait, but I really like this too. It's not near, like I said, it's made of a different plastic than like a Kitech or Rhythm Wave, but I like it. The length on this tail here before it comes to the paddle is going to give it some really good action. Really like this Sexified Shad. Going to be killer. Especially on the A-rig, on the Tennessee River. We always throw that electric blue chartreuse on the Kitech here because our water's a little dirty. Robert, actually, I like about any ball head myself. I throw an owner. The ones I got, unfortunately, are, well, I'll tell you what. I'll just go ahead and get them out here. I'll rig one of these guys up for you guys. Let's see here. Oh, damn, boys, it's coming a hell of a storm here. We may have Bait Man Live blown the hell away. So I'll show you guys the ball head I like. So this is an owner ball head that I got. These are prototypes. But I really like this one, and we're gonna go ahead and rig one of these up. This is we'll put this on this is a smaller one. We'll put this on a 3.2, and then I like this guy right here. This is kind of the 6 cents Divine Swimbait head, the finesse one. So we're gonna pair that up with one of these 3/8 to see how they look. Yep, Ned heads actually do a really good job for those finesse swim baits. I'm glad you brought that up. So what I'm going to do, if I can find some scissors, which I probably can't, because my wife probably took them. Oh look, I found a steak knife. That'll work. When in doubt, find a steak knife. So I'm going to cut my head before I rig that thing up. I want this to be nice and flush. So on a ball head, I'm going to come out the back here. And see, this owner has this little lead thing, and that's just a keeper for your soft plastic. And I just push it up like that right there. So that right there, awesome little finesse swim bait. Really light line. You smallmouth guys up there, St. Clair, that kind of stuff right there, crushes them. So that little owner head's only, I think that's a 1/4 ounce. And it's got a 2/0 hook in it. That right there is perfect. Great for around bridge pilings, stuff like finesse swim bait. If you got some of them small finesse jigs, that'd be good too. So got that one rigged up. So let's rig up a 3/8. I want to show you a couple of these colors before we rig one up. This one, I'm really excited about this color. It's called Shad Screen. Good Lord, guys. I wish y'all could see this storm. I'm gonna show y'all through my webcam real quick this storm that's brewing up, because I am actually outside. Check this out right here. Well, that's a light. Let's take that light out. I don't know if y'all can see that squall line. You probably can't. I'll put this shit back up. I didn't realize it was going to look that awful. But I really like this color right here. This is Shad Screen. So you kind of got this goldenish back. And you've got, your nice silver flake and stuff like that on the side. Really kind of going to be a golden shiner color. Or maybe you got a little bit dirtier water. This one's going to be really, really nice. Kind of like a cross between the Kitech Tennessee shad and electric shad. So I'll really, really dig that color. And then this other one I'm really excited about, because I throw a lot of white swim jigs. I've had a lot of trouble finding the right trailer. But this one is Ghost Ice Minnow. So it's basically kind of like that disco shad and a clear white. Got some blue flake in there. Really digging this guy. So here's the deal. I'm going to rig this up on the Divine head. Again, I always cut the top of my swim baits just a little bit, just to make sure my rigging's really flush. This is the Divine swim bait head. And I always put the flat of the back, point of the hook toward the flat of the back. I'm going to go in, and because these are screw locks, go in about maybe halfway. And then I just start spinning it around just like so. Push it around, spin the tail around, turn, take it around the tail. The deal with this screw lock is once it's on there, especially with this type of plastic, it's not coming off, period. You just get it nice and snug on there, man. That sucker, that looks good. And they're going to bite that. A little bit bigger than the 3.2, and that's the 3.8. I promise you, fish are going to really, really like that. Very finessey. Going to be good on your smallmouth lakes. Good here on the Tennessee River. Can't wait to throw this thing this fall. That right there is a really sick combination. And then if you want to get super technical, you put a little glue right there before it hits the head. It will never come off. Hey, what's up, Bass Bank Roberts? Now that guy can catch fish. So I do use the Matt Allen heads. I do. Those are really good swim bait heads. I use a lot of different things. My swim bait head box is like, it's huge. It's this big because different heads give baits different action. There's times when I want stuff with the weed guard, some when I want without. The shape of the head makes a huge difference on how some of these swim baits swim as well. So, dude, I wish I could have my cell phone and take a picture of this squall line. It's unreal. What do I think about 6 gill fishing? I think their stuff's pretty trash, if you want to know the truth. No, I shouldn't say trash, because I don't like to bash anyone. I think 6 gill is you get what you pay for. If you're looking for cheap rods and reels, you're going to get cheap rods and reels. I've handled some of their rods before and reels, and I wasn't too impressed. I'm sure they have some good stuff, but I feel like they're on the, if you will be on our pro staff, we'll give you everything dirt cheap. And, you know, dude, Hog Farmers stand-up Neds are sweet. Yeah, Jamie Hartman was using a Reaction Innovations Vixen. So for you guys that don't know, the Vixen is coming back. Made by Hideki at Teco Lures. Now, and Hideki is the one that had the original Vixen molds and designer and everything. So the Vixen will be now called the Kick Knocker from Teco Lures. A lot of the original colors are back, a couple new ones. It's the same plastic, same mold, same sound. It is the OG Vixen. It will now be under the Teco brand as the Kick Knocker. Bushrat, I think he was using the new one. Same knock, same sound. I promise. This is literally, Hideki is the guy that Reaction Innovations and Paycheck was buying their baits from. This is the OG Vixen. Line, tie, everything. The hooks may be different, but it's the same bait. I would say this fall. He's got that, and Hideki's got a new frog called the Duck Roker coming out. I'm going to try to get pictures of all this iCast stuff Tuesday for Tackle Tuesday. And we're going to go through all kinds of stuff. And we're going to thumbs up it, thumbs down it, or we're going to get it off the internet. So, but anyway, that's the new Divine Swim Baits from 6 Cents. And I will tell you guys, Casey told me to let you guys know, if you guys want any soft plastics, you better hop on them now. They've already sold out of one color on the Divine Shaky Worms. Use that Baitman code, 10% off, and it's going to be like October, November before they get any more. Yes, they are coming with the barely legal Vixen size. Jesse Hideki posted that on Facebook. It's going to be called the Kick Knocker Junior. So really excited about that. Dude, the iCast Best of Show is just, it's stupid and ridiculous. It's so much politics. It has nothing to do with actually making a cool product. So I will give it to 13 Fishing. They made a product as a joke, and it actually won. Speaking of 13 Fishing, I don't know if you guys read the news, but they got bought out. So Rapala now owns 49% of 13 Fishing. I have thoughts on that. Lockwalker, that'll be coming out probably early 2020. I do not think that's a gimmick. Just in talking to somebody that's thrown it, the prototype, I asked them on his opinion, and they just said, dude, it's probably got the most awesome action I've ever seen out of a square bill. It's totally different and something the fish have never seen. And a lot of guys have been trying to make that same action into a crankbait for a long time and haven't figured it out. So I'm excited about that. Awesome, Clayton. I heard G-Limit's E6X is not that sensitive and have broke on some peeps. Yeah, it believe it or not, the E6X is decent sensitive, but that is the lowest Loomis brand rod, and I have seen in my day several of them break. But I'm going to be honest with you, all rods break. Any rod company that says our rods don't break, they're full of shit, because they do. People abuse them, a bad blank gets put out. I'm a Loomis fan, I love the rods. I've got a $400 cranking rod just sitting right in front of me. I've got Daiwas. I've got the 6 Cent Sensory and Lux rod, which really are kind of my favorites right now. I love these Douglas rods they've sent me. The Styx rods for $100. Man, there's so many good rods out there. And that's why I think there's a lot of companies creating a lot of competition. It's really hard for one or two companies to really dominate. I think Loomis is still number one out there with the name and the technology, but there's so many people behind them just fighting for that second, third position. So I don't think Biospawn's phasing out. So Biospawn's owned by Catch Company, and they also own Guggenbaits, or create those. And I really feel that they're pushing the Guggenbaits so hard that Biospawn kind of gets lost. And they actually make some cool products, so I'm kind of sad to see that. But let's look at these worms. We're gonna look at the worms because I got the worms here somewhere. If y'all got questions about 6th Sense, y'all need to tell old Philip Jones. He's watching here. He's the designer. So this is the one that I was so excited about. You know me, guys. I'm a Plum guy, and this right here is not a 6th Sense. This has been one of my favorite ledge worms for the last couple of years. So this is a Plum Zoom Mag Trick worm. My other favorite worm is the Lucky Strike ringworm. You Kentucky, Lake Tennessee River guys, y'all know all about that. And a long time ago, I told Casey, I said, whoa, snap. I said, man, if you can ever make a shaky head worm that's basically a Mag Trick worm and a Lucky Strike ringworm and fuse them together, that'd be the best thing ever. Well, here we go. This is the 6th Sense Divine Shaky Worm. This is the 7.0. So here's the packaging. This is great packaging, personally. It's going to stand out on a shelf if you're a retailer. To me, I like it because it's going to keep my baits nice and straight. So here he is. And their color is Plum Fleck. So it's kind of like a cross between a blue fleck and a plum. But if you compare it to the Zoom Plum, it's pretty daggum close, and I'm pretty pumped about that. So if you'll see on this 7.0 shaky worm, you can see it's got that ribbed body. I really like that. But then it tapers, the ribs slowly get tapering to this bulbous tail here. So that is going to give it lots of action there on the water. You can see that in my hand. And you know, you can rig it up. I'm going to rig it up with two different shaky heads. I'm going to try this with Old Faithful. I throw this a lot when I want to get really finesse. I throw this Picasso shaky head. I've caught a lot of big fish on this thing. But I'm not going to throw this when the wind's blowing. This is kind of my no current, nothing's going on type of rig. The only problem is that screw is so small, it takes forever to get the screw into the plastic. I just want to see how it'll look on here, and then I'm going to rig it with the Divine shaky head. Oh yeah, here we go. So right there, just a little ball head. You can rig it like that, nice and straight. I've caught some fish over 6 on this little small shaky head, and then right there, and that's a 7-inch worm. So if that hook's not big enough, see how it looks on a Divine head. What's up, Frank? See if I can find one. Well, maybe I can, or not. Well, I can't find my Divine shaky head, so that's awesome. God, I got so much junk going on in here. This is ridiculous. Okay, anyway. So, but anyways, that is the Plum. And again, they come in these nice little convenient packages. If y'all see this bait room, y'all know how what a mess I've got. I know I have some of them shaky heads around here somewhere. So that's Plum. We're going to put it over here on this side so I don't grab it again. And yeah, I got several packs of that. So here's green pumpkin blue in the 7.0. Hey Philip, yeah, bud, I knew that Plum was going to get out of there, so I not gonna lie, snuck away to the bathroom at work, and I went and got him up on that phone. So, but I had to go anyway. There's actually no scent on these, to be honest with you. I'm kind of glad, because sometimes I don't like scent on my stuff, but if you want to add it, you can. So this is green pumpkin blue right here. Really like green pumpkin blue. One of my favorite colors. This is my Pickwick color. I really like green pumpkin blue up there. See if that light will get off this thing. I'll probably do another video, YouTube video, and really break these down and how to rig them best ways. The colors will show up way better. But that's green pumpkin blue, and that's the 7.0. That's the big worm. That's the one I'm going to throw a lot. These Magnum shaky style worms, I like big. But what's cool is the 6.3, which I'm fixing to show you right now. Is one of my favorites. Matt Ford, I still have that bait, and we'll see if that ever comes to light. You know, that's my knock on 13 fishing. They promised the moon, it never comes in. Mason, they do have a 6-inch paddle tail. I've got it hanging up right here. It's the Core X. But I know Philip's working on some awesome stuff for you swim bait guys. Chad, there's not a lot of... Damn. It's fixing to get lit up in here. I don't think the Dogma's discontinued, but you can still get them some places, Bush Rat. I think that BMF shad's really cool. I think it might be a blessing Rapala bought these guys out. I think 13, that's a cool company. I think they've just struggled with some cash flow issues there. And there's nothing wrong with that. Hey, small business to grow into big businesses, sometimes you got to have an investor. Guys, I'm not going to lie, it's hard on two rats screwing in a wool sock behind a dryer up here. I'm sweating like a whore in church. So, but so now here's the 6.3 version of the Divine Shaky Worm. I love this color. I'm a big summer crawl, chartreuse pumpkin kind of guy. This is in the 6.3. Man, you can just tell these worms, they're soft, but those ribs give these things so much action. It almost got a little bit of that magic craw highlight in there. Yeah, it's gotten cold outside now, so y'all be with bait man, because we may get our ass blown away tonight. But you know what? That ain't going to stop me from showing you these worms. Very good looking bait. So, very excited about the Divine Shaky Worm. And, you know, when Casey told me about these worms like a year ago, I was like, dude, here's some colors I think you should go with. And we had some great conversations. And here's the deal. They put their own spin on every color, and they knocked it out of the park. Now, they, you know, green pumpkin's green pumpkin. I'm not going to lie to you. Plum is blue fleck, but they try to do it their own. So I got respect on that. You know, no one's going to patent a color. I mean, that's going to happen. That's different than knocking off, you know, a hard bait. So you're right, Steve. At least my neighbor's not mowing. He'll probably come outside, smoke a cigarette, and want to know what I'm doing over in there. So, dude, I hear you, Sean. I just need a bigger bait room. It actually stays pretty cool in here. One reason it's hot is I got this 500 watt halogen light in front of me, and I really need to convert all. I need to make if you knew what I was working with here, I would really like to get a set of lights in all four corners of this room. I'm basically working in a side room of a garage, and with those LED lights, it would be awesome. Hey, thanks, Tom. I appreciate it. But anyway, I'm glad to be back. I've just had a lot of stuff going. I've got to get a Pickwick video done. My buddy Monty Mac is bugging me. Monty Mac is a good dude, and I lost an absolute jank. He hooked right at the boat. But let's get into some more 6 cents baits. This is the Ned Fryer. So this is just your old green pumpkin. What's cool about this? The Ned Fryer is kind of square. If you can see that, very squared off, almost like a centipede, but super soft. So right now it's only one size, is the 4/6, which is great. I mean, you could even wacky rig this thing if you want to, but with any Ned bait, all you gotta do make it smaller is cut it off just a little bit. But I really like this bait. Going to be good on a split shot rig. Those guys that like that Lake Fork ring fry, stuff like that. This is going to be versatile, can be used for more than just a Ned worm. They do float big time. I did actually throw this in my bathtub earlier, and it float. And so there's no salt in this. So when guys put salt in their plastics, that's going to make it sink. You take the salt out, a lot of plastics will actually float. So really like this big awesome Carolina rig deal. So that's just your green pumpkin one. I know that Ike and Ellie used to, I did a video of Ike and Ellie years ago on classic patterns, and he talked about taking a French fry about that size, and when it got really, really tough and that post spawn up shallow, he would put a nail weight in the head and just work it back and forth, kind of before Necco rigging was a deal. Dude, I don't know if y'all hear this rain, but it is. Now this color, I didn't get these in the shaky worms, and I just actually put some in my cart, so y'all don't go buy them, because I need some. Philip, you better go put some on your desk, because I'm going to order these tonight. This is called Melon Dawn. This thing is sick, and that is in the Ned Fry. But they also have this color in the shaky worm, and another bait I'm fixing to show you. But it's almost like a Morning Dawn, with a little bit of green pumpkin back. Whew, shoo-wee, guys. They're going to eat this. No salt, Curtis, no salt. And it's going to make these things float. Really like this. You smallmouth guys, anybody that's a fan of that Morning Dawn, you're going to like that. You can just see that tail just kind of go back and forth. And a lot of what has to do with that is when anytime you make baits, it's got some ribs and stuff, it's really going to get some action. Very unique color. This is also, you know, I talked about one of my favorite colors, Zoom worms of all time, was watermelon blue. Well, this right here, dude, Chris, awesome drop shot bait right there. You hit it right on the head. This is watermelon scents. Man, y'all hear that rain? I'm gonna have to shut my door. So watermelon scents. Y'all see that? It's got a little bit of blue hue to it. Look at the bottom of that blue. Woo! Guys, that right there. My Clearwater guys, y'all are really gonna like that. My West Coast guys, that right there is gonna get its lunch packed. Ribbed for the fish's pleasure, and yours too, Sean. What's up? I am doing good. Thanks for asking. But man, I like that right there. That is going to be a smallmouth killer. I know them big largemouth going to eat that too. You guys that fish those Clearwater lakes, that you want to skip around boat docks and stuff, that right there, really, really like that. And that color is watermelon scent. So again, they took the original color of watermelon, put their own play on it. Ooh, I like it a lot. So I actually had to go back and put those in the shaky worm because I got to get that as well. So that is the Ned Fry 4/6. You know what? Let's rig one up. Oh, my side light went out, but that's okay. Let's rig one up on a Ned head. I'll pick one out here. You know, since I'm going with the, I'm going to go with the 4/6 version, a little bit bigger. This is an owner. They call it a finesse ball head. It's kind of like a stupid tube hook, but works good for a weedless shaky head or weedless Ned rig head. And the cool thing is they actually come out with this with the owner blockhead design at ICAST. So really excited about that. So all you gotta do is just pull that thing through. Sometimes you gotta do a little trickeration on this thing to work. It comes through that little gap right there, and you can just push the worm right up on that head. And now you kind of have a weedless Ned rig. See that right there? Or a very finesse weedless shaky head. These baits are very versatile, so if you want to make it smaller, you can just cut off some of these appendages. Really like that. You can find these on Tackle Warehouse, these heads right here. But they got a football one coming out, and then they got a weedless owner blockhead with the EWG hook. So now if you wanted to go with you know, like use a power shrooms, this is a Z-Man power shrooms right here. Let's see what that looks like. Right there, power shrooms. Probably stick a little bit farther back on the hook. That's probably a poor rigging job by me, but man, that bait is really nice. Well, I'm hoping, I do know, Ron, that somebody asked that question on Instagram to 6 cents, and right now supply is so limited. It'll probably be late this winter or spring before that's an option. If we're going to do Baitman boxes again next year, which I really hope we will, I'm gonna do a Baitman soft plastic box, and y'all can get a sample of every plastic and some terminal tackle to go with there. Heck yeah, man! Make sure you use my code Easton. Use that Baitman for 10% off. I know there's a big high school tournament coming out here. I'm telling you, Shaky Head is going to be a huge deal. And, you know, there's a lot of guys fishing around boat docks right now. There's some fish out deep, but there's a lot of guys catching fish shallow using some finesse tactics around laydowns and brush piles. Our water's clearing up. I'd get that watermelon scents color. Plum's great too. Get some of those clear stuff. If you had to pick one frog color to fish scattered cover grass and wood, what would it be? Red. For some reason, I love a red frog. It gets bit. I'm either gonna go red or a black. Something natural. I don't get too crazy. I saw where Spro has a baby blue frog, and believe it or not, they'll eat that. But natural red, natural black, brown. That's what I'm gonna throw 90% of the time. And I'm not an awesome frog fisherman. I love throwing it. But when you spend, there's, you know, from the second week of May till the last week of September, you know, hundreds of yards off the bank, you don't throw those. They don't have a drop shot specific bait, but you can drop shot that 2.8 new swim bait. That would be a really good drop shot, or this Ned Fryer. I don't know if you've ever wacky rigged a bait on a drop shot. It gets bit. But there you go, Phil. There's your next deal. Make a drop shot bait. So that's a good question. Why throw a shaky head versus a Texas rig worm? One, you're always going to maintain. I like to throw a shaky head when I want to maintain bottom contact the whole time. I basically throw it out there and I drag it kind of like a football jig. I see guys out there throw it and they drag and they shake, shake, shake. That's not how I do it. That doesn't mean my way's right. I throw it out there. I use 12-pound fluorocarbon. Sometimes I'll use 14 if I'm going with a real heavy one. And I just drag it back real slowly. When I hit a hard spot, I just stop it and let it sit there. A Texas rig, I'm going to use around brush piles. If I want to hop it off the ground, if those fish are suspended off the bottom, I really like to, you know, pop that worm up and down, and the worm will always follow the weight there. Whereas with a shaky head, it just goes straight down. A shaky head, a lot of times when you throw that bait and it's falling, it makes it spiral. Whereas a Texas rig, the bait kind of swims behind it. It's a crazy deal, but I'm telling you, there's days you'll throw a Texas rig and you will smash them. The next day, you'll throw a shaky head and they don't want a Texas rig. But if I'm fishing brush piles, or if I'm flipping, pitching, any kind of shallow cover, I'm always going to Texas rig. Usually more fishing pressure, they tend to like the shaky head. Or if you're fishing around a lot of hard rock, that shaky head gets bit really, really well. What's up, Robert? I appreciate you joining in, man. I've been super busy. I don't know, Big Red. I'm sure you could do that. I would send them a message. So we got the Ned Fryers here. Man, that rains. If I lived in my old house, I would already be sunk. And some of you guys know what I'm talking about. A couple years ago when I used to do streams off Facebook, my house flooded, so did my bait room. Oh, now this is a new bait, so if you guys like stick baits, such as, did my internet just get knocked out? Okay. If you guys are a fan of Cincos, this is going to be the bait for you. This is the Clout 5-4. Love this color right here. It's called Nirvana, and it is kind of like a cross between green pumpkin and black and blue. And this one does have salt in it. So that is basically their Cinco stick bait. Really like this bait. Again, this one's like a green pumpkin and black and blue mix. I think you can see that line right there. I'm a big fan of soft stick baits. Wacky rig, Nico rig, Dum Dum rig, Baxter rig. You can rig this anyway. Rig it weedless. This is a sweet little bait right here. And that color is Nirvana. Really like the profile on that. Uh-oh. Dustin, y'all gonna learn to throw that shaky head up on a bait caster. I've lost too many on a shaky head, and with the spinning rod, I pretty much throw a shaky head exclusively on a bait caster. This is a sweet color too. This is called Dark Water Bug. This is basically a plum. I don't know if you can see that very well. A plum and then a black and blue mix. So this Dark Water Bug is, I wish my lighting was, there you go. See that? It's like a black and blue and a plum mix. This is kind of a mix of a couple old school colors. Really, really like this. I'm hoping that this will come in that big shaky worm. I would actually like to see this in the swim bait. I think that would make an awesome trailer on a jackhammer and some dirty water. Really like these Clout baits. These things are going to get bit. I think I'm going to have to go to Lake X and do some double testing. Got some of these in Melon Dust as well. Just your traditional kind of green pumpkin chartreuse. Whew, they're going to bite that. Really like this Clout. And then some more Dark Water Bug. I knew I had to have more of those. So I would like to see 6 Cents try their hand at the tube game. That's be kind of hard to do something different, but it would be awesome to see them put their spin, because obviously my first impressions on the plastics now, they're unique. They've put their own touch on some longtime favorites. They didn't just go out there and copy anybody. And if they did, you know, I would let you know, guys. They copied somebody. But the colors, they went with their own colorways, and they did a really, really good job. Dude, Upton's worms are legit. They are nice. Keep that on the down low, man. Yeah, I've seen 6 Cents beaver bait. You know, it's legit, and that takes nothing away from Reaction Innovations. I love that spicy beaver, man. It's an awesome bait. And you know what? just because I got all these 6 cents baits, I'm going to throw Strike King, I'm going to throw Reaction Innovations, I'm going to throw Zoom, because you know what? There's going to be days when the fish want something different, and I'm not above showing you guys what they're going to eat. I'm not above telling you guys what's good and what's not. So, Richard, that's a good question. I use a 5/0 owner round bend hook. I don't use the EWG, but very rarely on a big worm. For the most part, I just use the round bend hook. That is rain, man. It's going ham outside. I gotta put all these baits up. I've got to actually hang some stuff up. My bait room is getting terrorized. But I really wanted to show you guys the new baits. It's been a while since I've been on here. I'm going to try to get more content up. I'm actually working on a website for a company right now and trying to get that done for them. So if you're a big fan of Bullshad swim baits, you're probably going to see a new website really soon. And I can tell you this, Mike Buca has got some awesome baits coming out. And he may have just, from the pictures Buca sent me tonight, I can tell you what it is. Bullshad has just went fully high definition, and it's wow. But trying to work on some side projects so I can bring more video to you. Again, I don't want to bang on windows all the time. I'd rather do videos and fishing content for a living. I actually wrote an article, a review on the Spicy Beaver. Look for that on my website this week. I want to try to do an article, at least 2 or 3 articles a week, and then try to keep doing videos. I can't make any promises. Everything's hectic right now. So, awesome, Carver. I appreciate you joining in, man. What do you think of Berkeley's new flute worm with a tapered tail? I saw that. It looks unique. The only thing I worry about Berkeley is that they got too many designs out there. It's kind of getting hard to choose from. I'm surprised they didn't call it the skin flute. I hear you, Richard. I will say this. Behind me, you see Spro crankbaits. They come out some awesome colors in the Little John and at iCast. I was really excited about that. I love the Little John. Those are some really good crankbaits. And then Missile Baits has got some awesome new colors in the D-bombs and the Ned shot or Ned bomb, which is a good bait. So, what's up, part-time fishing? I've seen the Fritz side crankbait. So the Fritz side crankbait is basically a Rapala DT7 with a hard body. And it's got a coffin bill like the Bandit Flat Max. So, just blending those two together, and it's really like the old Pose RC. Hey man, thanks for the donation, Easton's Fishing and Robot Reviews. If you got a channel, I want to check that out. I want to see some roboting reviews, man. I'm gonna go over here and look at this. Go to channel. Let's see how many subs you got. Well, I'm gonna give you a sub just so you have 1 subscriber, man. It looks like your little boy, he likes hanging out on YouTube, and I'm cool with that, man. Thank you very much for the $5. I appreciate that. I'll put it to good use. Lance, the Spicy Beaver to me, and this is no joke, when I put it on a football jig, I literally caught like 20 fish in a row before I had to replace it. So on the back of a jig, it seemed pretty durable to me. I have not used Ketchum bait soft plastics. I might have some if they're old school, but in my dad's tag box we don't have any. I did see the new JDM dowel rods. That's very true. He probably did part-time fishing. Oh man, look at my hair. This is great, guys. I might as well just shave my head. I do love the man bear pig. That's a sweet bait. So I'm trying to think of anything else new I got. I will say that I put this Spicy Beaver on this 6-inch Divine swim jig. And you see how I turn that guy, that sun gill on this, sucker looks good. I'm going to go to Guntersville here in about 2 weeks. I'm going to go fish with a couple guys down there, and I'm going to be fishing some new Shimano equipment. So I'm really excited about that. I got a buddy that's a Shimano rep, and he said, hey man, let me put your hands on some of this new SLX stuff and a few other things to test out some new jackal baits. We're going to go down there and fish with Blake Hall, and I'm really excited about that. That's all good, Chris. What do you think is the best reel that came out? So, I really want to save some of the iCast for Tackle Tuesday, but I'll go ahead and let you guys know. And then I'm fixing to jump off here. I'm going to go hang out with the wife. I hadn't seen her much lately. So, the SLX is basically a Corrado DC dumbed down. The DC technology is still the same. What I'm saying is the SLX is basically a Corrado K with a different frame. And when I say different frame, different material, awesome reel in itself. Doesn't have as much as, let me put it this way, there's the SLX is the workbox truck compared to the Corrado would be your SLT with a leather interior. So they put that DC technology into the SLX, made it $189, very affordable. I think it's an awesome reel. Would I say it's the best of iCast? Yes, I actually probably would. I think the new Daiwa Tatula Elite's really nice. I would like to see some new changes, maybe in the Tatula line. Maybe a super light. We're talking like a Metanium at a nice price point, like a Tatula MG or something at $249. That would be something I would love to see. I still love my Daiwas. I think the SLX is probably the best reel out at iCast this year. From a price point, for what it does and the price, it's going to be hard to beat that. DC technology is not for everyone, but it's a great beginner's reel, and that's really who they're trying to target with that SLX is the high school, the college angler, the new fisherman that's never used a bait caster. That DC technology makes it really hard to backlash when you get it set right. You give someone some confidence, and then they can go other places. Me, I don't throw a lot of DC reels just because I'm a good enough caster. Well, sometimes. Without it, I don't really feel I need it. What is the name of Shimano rep you know? My buddy's name, I don't want to say his name because I don't want him to get bombarded, but if you want to send me a message, Mason, on Instagram, I'll let you know. I have thrown the Pompadour. That's a crazy bait. Man, bush rat, I know you're jacking them freaking creek smallmouth. It's a good bait. I like the smaller one, and they got a baby Pompadour that came out, so really excited about that. Part-time fishing, I agree. I like loose reels. There's nothing wrong with them. As far as mass-produced overseas reels, they're by far my favorite, and I like some of the new stuff they come out with. That new Team Lose Light looks sweet. It kind of has a Metanium look to it. But as far as the new stuff, man, it's just all slapping new colors on it and giving it cool names. That don't do it for me. But you know what? There's a huge market for that, and Loose has really got that part of the market cornered, so kudos to them. And to be honest, their customer service is really good. If you ever have an issue with Loose, they'll take care of you. I've got a couple of Loose reels, and I can't say anything bad about them, to be honest with you. I like the way those Daiwas fit in my hand really well. Stone Cold Steve Autism. Wow. That might be one of the better YouTube names I've seen in a while. Hopefully, that's a name. We're not making fun of autism there. Hopefully that you got a family member and you're trying to show some awareness for that. Only Baitman shirt right now is I got the Jank shirts. I really need to design something. So if you have ideas, let me know. I was kind of wanting to do, a Baitman / Batman thing, but I think just using text is better. I thought about just show me your baits, or show me your janks, something like that. Dude, I have a Fuego for real I've been using since before they hit the market. And let's see if I can show you this video here. Let's see if I can get this video to load up. Y'all want to see a clip that's never been seen before on YouTube. Let's find this video here. See which one is it? Let's see that Fuego in action. Well, I'll have to splice it together. I can't do it right now. But I throw my chatterbait on a Fuego all the time. Alright, let's answer a few questions. Joe, what do I think about the new Lowrance trolling motor? The Lowrance trolling motor is expensive, but I didn't see that in person. I tell you who I'm going to lean on to that is I'm going to go to my buddies down there at High Tech Outdoors and really talk to Matt Quinn down there. He is the best I know on electronics and trolling motors and stuff. And he's a Garmin Lowrance Humminbird expert, and he'll probably have both those available when he can. And we really got to break that thing down. I'm good to even run a trolling motor. I couldn't tell you how to wire them up and all that. Jank's gonna happen. I like that. Yeah, I just need to do. If I do Derby Jersey and just bold letters, maybe people would understand. Maybe they wouldn't. What happened to Pinnacle? Did they go out of business? I'm not sure. The thing with casting, Piscify 6 Gills is their equipment where you get what you pay for. Yeah, I agree. And they're all really manufactured by the same people. I mean, they're just putting different lettering on it. I got Piscifun reel up here, and I won't say anything bad about it. It's not on the quality as a Shimano or a Dial or a Luz, but if you want to try something different, it's not a bad reel. Yeah, Russell Marine, man, Justin Russell, he's a good dude, man. High Tech, they're here locally. They're kind of the Russell Marine. Yeah, they made baseball bats and gloves. Pinnacle, I think at one time they did. Or at least somewhat similar. But, guys, I enjoyed it tonight. We've been on for almost an hour. And I really appreciate you guys joining in. Janks only. Brandon, it's spelled like this. Jaints. Janks with a T. Janks. I don't want to make fun of the Patch Pirates too hard. And you know what? As I'll say it like this, those guys spend a lot of money, and their money spends just like the pros. And at the end of the day, if everybody wants to fish, go fish. Who am I to judge somebody? But you know what? I will make fun of you, and I hope y'all make fun of me too. But yeah, I'm gonna go in here and hang out with the kids and the wife. Take me a shower because I'm stinking up in here. So, guys, thanks so much. Get on 6th Sense website, grab you some of those new soft plastics, and make sure you use that code BAITMAN. And Mike Long sucks. And just to answer that quick, I think that dude tricked a lot of people. So, but guys, y'all have a good one. Tuesday night, we're going to recap iCast. I'm going to download all kinds of images. We're really going to break this thing down. I'll probably do it a little early, probably about 5:30. So, guys, y'all have a really good night. God bless you all. Be with your families and stay safe.